Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 3, and our last build update for the AMT 2021 Dodge Charger Hellcat Redeye Wide Body. I'm telling you, this kit is just keeps getting better and better. I highly recommend this kit to anybody that uh, wants to have some fun. To be honest with you, it goes together very well. It paints up very well. It fits pretty darn good as long as you drill the holes out. Um, it's almost like there wanted to be a snap tight kit, but even that's a little bit tight. So I highly recommend drilling out all the holes after you paint it. Like when you're getting ready to put something together, drill the hole out, put it together. It worked out good for me. Let's get the people out of the way here, and I'll show you what we got done over the past couple of days. And it is quite a bit, little finicky stuff, but pretty much our prep work has really paid off with this kit. As you can see, the engine and body, the engine and the chassis and interior are all put together now. And instead of doing all this, how about if I bring you down a little bit and we'll go over some of the fun stuff here. The engine fit in here pretty good. It is tight, but it does drop down there and goes right on. And once it gets down past the firewall, you can lift it up a little bit, get some glue underneath there, drop it down. That way you're not dragging glue all the way down the transmission of the the bottom side and messing all that up. I am jazzed with all the colors that I got going here. My water bottles looking almost transparent. Both of them, they came out very well. And that is, hold on a second, because I think I still have it over here. A combination of Gallery's Desert Rose K118 Desert Rose. I painted the outlines underneath with that first. Let it dry for a while, man, because I had a bunch of other stuff going on. And then I came back and I mixed some of that with my translucent clear white KC001, and then I hit it with a few drops of the thinner and made a kind of a wash out of it. And you can see I went heavier on this one because every one I've seen, this seems to have it to where it splashes up inside there. And then I just did a wash over the whole thing and kind of diluted it and made everything seem like it was farther in the bottle than it really is. I am so jazzed on this. It just looks perfect, and I wish I could tell you what color I used. Honest to God, it's a Kaleido color. I don't think it was the Desert Rose. I can't remember. I got in a hurry, and then I put it back before I wrote it down. And it really bugs me because I wanted to tell you because it was just dead on. But that went good. I realized that I had this little piece here going to the wrong place. I had that coming up and over to here for some reason, and that's not right. So I figured that out after about 10 minutes of looking at it. Decals are getting put on. They're looking good. The Hemi, this one side, the Hemi, the eye was kind of messed up. So I did the best I could with it. But other than that, nothing was messed up with this kit that I didn't mess up myself. So it looks good. The radiator looks great, and it's going to be hidden forever. Again, this is box stock, so I didn't add anything to it that wasn't in the box itself. I looked into about flocking, and you're not allowed to flock it, so I didn't do that. I did find out, though, that I am going to be allowed to make my own license plate because you are allowed to add your own decals. So I'm excited for that. But again, the decals that are in this kit, they come off the paper very well, and they drop on very well, and they seem like they hold well. I got a little gloss going on there that I'm going to have to tone down a little bit, but I figured I'm going to do that once it's in place, just because I'm running out of places to hold things. Remember we talked about the interior and how I did the chrome work on here and around the shifter with the gel pen, and this is the fusion firm and everything. And now that it's all put together, you can see what I was talking about and how everything goes together. Remember I had the gunmetal? This whole panel right here was painted the gunmetal where the steering is, or the radio is. And now if you look, you can see it's just kind of trimmed out in it. I drilled the 3 holes, like I said, in the for the knobs, and you can see that the knobs they have the chrome ring around them, but they're still 3D and they look good from through the window. So just drill those holes out. You don't have to drill all the way through the paper. All you have to do is drill through the decal. So you don't have to go nuts with it. Again, I got the decals in for the gauges, and everything inside here now is decaled out. And it went on very well, like I said it would. I did use UV resin, because there's nothing that says you can't use UV resin to build up your gauges and give them that look. So I did that. Look at how cool this SRT looks on that steering wheel with that gunmetal. It is dead ringer match. And you can see the steering wheel controls look just as good as everything else there. I didn't use the decals for the vents because the vents are detailed enough, and the way it painted out, I thought I'd leave it alone. It looks good. So I am really jazzed with the interior. It went together well. I did have to hold some things because this was, I think, twisted back and down just a smidge on this corner. So I just had to hold it in place until the glue dried, and it went together nice. And what happened is I glued it here, and it popped up on this corner. So then I had to hold that and glue that in. My chassis is just a kind of snap fit. I drilled the holes out underneath. I did have some finagling to do to get that to lay in there on top of the little pegs underneath. It took me a second, but they're all dropped down in there, and they're where they should be. This one might be a little bit high, but I mean, it's close enough. When the body goes on there, that'll pull that down in place. But I am really happy. You see the chrome trim around the gauges? I did that I did that after I put the dashboard in place, because it gave me a bigger thing to hold, so I wasn't holding a little tiny dashboard. And I just came in with the side of the brush and fusion firm, and I painted that in there, and that looks good. It wrung that out very well, and it's nice and even. So I'm happy with it, and now that it's in there already and everything's there, because I even had the steering wheel in place, there ain't no way it's going to get touched. So you see the steering wheel's turned, and that's because I can adjust the suspension, and I am going to turn the wheels and then glue them into place. So they're just nothing, that's just still loose down underneath. And what a good segue to bring in the underneath side. I'm going to pull you out a little bit. We'll go out about right there, and I'm going to flip this thing over. How nice is this? I still have this piece to put on the front, but I wanted to show you that front suspension before I covered it up with this, because it does cover up a lot of it. Remember I told you I weathered my exhaust, and I heated it all the way down to where right about here, and every picture I've seen, the exhaust is really hot all the way down to these mufflers, and then it's not. So I followed suit with the same thing, and I like it. I like it a lot. Zirconium black is what I finally decided to use for those 2 cans, and I think that's good. It works out. It's pretty much what goes on with it. You see, as I've been adding things before I put them onto the kit, I have been weathering them with the Kaleidos matte. It's called Wood Brown K0047. I like this. It works out. It's a little darker than my Desert Tan. It's a lot thinner than the Desert Tan. So I'm wiping off a lot. It doesn't cover as far as a Desert Tan, but it does work okay. And I'm going to keep using it because I'm getting good results. So why change what's going on with it and how it's doing with me? So again, this is the transparent blue and red and yellows that I used in here, and I think it worked out pretty good for the first time I ever tried to weather anything. You can't see the headers, but we all saw it last week, and we know those are done too. So remember, when you're doing weathering, if you're going to weather underneath, before you put the engine in, dry brush the bottom of it. It gets weathered too. So now let's talk about this suspension. And I'm going to go quick here. This isn't going to be like I said last time, not going to be a long video, but it ended up being way longer. This one we're going to keep short. It's the last one. But you can see this is all movable. And what I'll do is I'll turn the wheel a little bit one way or the other, depending on the steering wheel. I'm upside down, so I got to really think and not turn the wheel the wrong way. And then what I'll do is I'll just put a littlest tiny drop of glue right on the A-frame right here on both sides and let it suck in there, and that'll lock that in place. But it looks good. The steering arm right here, which you see now flexes back and forth real easy, was kind of a bear to get into both of these. So I recommend not gluing your spindles in. Get the steering arm, turn this spindle all the way that way, so it's pointing as far back as you can. Bring that over and get it in that hole, and then bring it all the way around as you're moving the spindle this way forward. Bring that all the way around and underneath here, which was kind of fun, and do the same thing with this one. Have this one pointing back, so you got room to get that thing in there. And drill these holes out a little bit, or else you're going to struggle with it a little bit. But everything else dropped right in, no problem. The sway bar locks into the back of the 2 points right here, and this piece will then drop in and cover all of this up. So it is what it is, and you know it's there, and it still shows a lot of that. But again, I wanted to show you all this before I hit it all. The little piece in the back, I remember to put on. The backside looks really good, mainly aluminum and just very lightly weathered. The drive shaft, I weathered like I always do. I weathered this way because it is spinning. So even though you're driving down the road and all your lines are going this way on here, the drive shaft is going to have them going that way. And then the back 2 spindles I did go in the direction of travel. All the little boots got the Kaleidos rubber black. And over top of black paint or black primer, the rubber black looks really good. Over top of light or white, it looks very, very blue. So if you're going to use Kaleidos rubber black, blacken it first before you use it, and you'll be very happy you did. But I did remember to paint this. I was looking through some pictures, and I saw this was not the body color or the black. So I brush painted that with, I think it was just stainless steel, and then weathered it out. And it matched up pretty good. And pretty cool how all these pieces fit in here, and it's done very well. I mean, it's a modern kit. It should be done very well, but it is. Some modern kits, you say they should be done very well, and they're not. This one's the other way around. You're going to be happy working on this thing. It does. It's part heavy kit. There are a lot of little stuff in here, but nothing that you can't deal with. You know what I mean? Um, it's not. It's really, and it's fun to do. So let me get the chassis out of the way. We'll bring the body over. Remember I showed you that I smoked the windows? They're in place now, and they look great. That's just as dark as I wanted them. You can still see through them a little bit, but everything you're going to see, you're going to have to look through these windows. There's even the decal for the brake on there, and you can see it underneath, but you can't see it out there because of the smoke. So maybe I should have put that decal on there first and then smoked it, but that's okay. You can see these two little light spots. Well, three of them, one here, one there, and one here. I had a piece of foam that I was using when I was putting the windows in, and I had this upside down on that foam, and it made these little micro scratches in here that the only way to do it was to get it back into the paint and paint it. Those marks will disappear. I just painted them today, so I can't go over them yet, but tomorrow or the next day, when I'm wrapping this up, really, when I finish, I'll take the turtle wax ice and go over those, and you'll never see them. But the Avanus 0.2 millimeter saved my bacon there, because if I didn't have that, I would have had to mask all that off, and I already had the antenna glued in here. So I would have had to do some kind of an S mask there and whatever, just to get it to where everything was covered up and good. You can see I have a scuff on my glass, and I don't think it's the glass. I think that's just some of that rubber stuff that I was using. It should come out with the wax. I will turtle wax ice the glass. It doesn't hurt the glass. It doesn't hurt anything. Looks really, really good. So the only thing I have to do with this is get it on the chassis now, and then wax it. But before I wax it, let's not get in a hurry again. I'm going to have to come in here, put the Hellcat logo on both sides over here and here. And I did take my Tamiya's fine and coarse and go over fine and finish, I'm sorry, and go over the spots where the decals are going to go, because remember I screwed up and I waxed it. And what that'll do is that'll scuff that wax right off of there. And to prove that, we'll grab the front here. The glass is all in. The decals on here, and all the radiator pieces are in. And this piece right here, I almost died. I didn't almost die, but I was really super bummed out when I took this off the sprue. I cut this piece off, and this piece stayed on. It was like it never came together all the way. There was a gap in there, and I thought, oh, geez, that's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Well, believe it or not, you'll be able to see it, because I'm going to show you. See that line? That is where it was broke. It was, and it wasn't like it was just like fractured. It wasn't a stress break or anything like that. It was just broke, or not attached. But I put the two together. You know, I sprayed them as separate pieces and all that, because I didn't want to try to glue them together and get that glue to ooze everywhere. So I sprayed them as two separate pieces. I put it in place and put a little bit of glue behind both sides of that, and held it in place with a Q-tip. And because I sprayed the two pieces separately, the paint was just a little tiny bit lighter on this piece than this piece. So I came back with the Kaleidomat Black and painted it with a brush. And you got to really look to see it. It does disappear pretty good. Especially, I mean, it's gone. If you want to take the magnifying glass out and look, yeah, that's going to ding me, but what am I going to do? I mean, I don't want to send out and say, "Hey, I need another part," or any of that when it's going to go together that good. And you know what? I'm kind of proud to be able to make it look that good. So that's kind of showing off a little bit. Look at how cool that decal is. Oh yeah, these decals are awesome on this thing. Let's grab the back because the back is decal heavy, man. uh, and yes, I did use the silver charger on the back and the silver SRT. I don't. There wasn't a dark SRT, but since this was silver, I wanted that silver, and I did the Dodge silver across the back. It gave me the option to go black or to go with the silver, and I did the silver. So right now you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decals right there. And it took me a little while to get it all to lay in, and I'm happy with the way it came out. I mean, even the D and the Dodge came out pretty well centered up. So we're looking good there. I painted this underneath, so that's looking good. The only thing I have to do is get my license plate put in on this one, and I have to make the license plate. Since it's a decal, I'm allowed to do it, so I'm going to go ahead and make an Ohio plate to put on here, and when I do the finale, I'll show you what it is. The wife's idea, and I loved it, so we're good with that. The only other thing I have to do on this thing, other than the plate, is the hood vents and get them in place. So I think even with the hood vents on there, this is still going to look like the angry grasshopper. But I've had these things kind of sticking in there and looking at them and playing. They look great. I just have to wait another day because you see the shiny spot in there? That's where the little suction cup thingy was that or not suction cup, the foamy tape that was in there holding this thing. So there was a big white spot there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come by with the polish. I'll polish this out, get it close, and then I think I'm going to put a decal in here um, of a grasshopper. just just because I am going to display this way at the show. I'm going to put this in one of those little coin holders and display it at the show like this because I want to show off that amazing engine in this thing. And I think if anybody picks it up and looks at the backside, you know, one of the judges or whatever, I think they'll get a kick out of seeing that grasshopper in there. So we're going to shoot for that. I haven't even started doing it yet. But there's that. The rims, remember I almost screwed up. I mean, I had it in my hand. The tires I sanded, the rims dropped in. They look awesome. Check this out. That is the perfect. I mean, I was thinking of doing so many different things with these, and I'm happy that I just stuck with gunmetal. Just straight gunmetal. I didn't even panel line these things. But what I was going to do is I was going to drill in here and put valve covers or valve stems, and that would have kind of shot the box stock right there, wouldn't it? After all that, I mean, I had the drill in my hand too. I was ready to drill in there. So I don't know what touched me in the shoulder and said, "Hey, idiot, don't be doing that." But it saved me. And then the last thing, I don't know if I showed you or not, I did cut this down. It does go in here pretty darn nice. Yeah, there we go. It does lay in there pretty darn nice. Um, I will have to do something with the bottom. I think what I'll do is I'll just hit that with black so it looks like it's going into the rubber. But I'm waiting until the interior is mated up on here before I put this in. And just so I don't pop it out. And it'll give me something to quick shine to the bottom of here too. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that in there. I think it just gives it a little bit more, hey, check it out type stuff. But we'll see. If you don't see it in the final, you know I tried it and was like, no. So there's that. There's that. All I have now, like I said, is the little stuff. Windshield wipers, I went with the black instead of flat black because I wanted to have a little bit of difference in them. And that is about it. I mean, we covered... Oh, the interior. I just gave that a quick paint job. You're going to have hard-pressed time seeing it in there, but you will see it. So I wanted to give that a paint job. And don't forget, you got to black out your mirror. Don't just put it in there chrome because that's not the way it's supposed to be. So there we go. Like I said, man, I will probably finish this thing off Tuesday. Or Wednesday, I'm sorry. So look for a finale video on this Wednesday and a entry video tomorrow probably and an unboxing of the gallery build that I'm going to do coming up. So that's on its way. This is rocking and rolling, and I'm really pushing myself to get this done so I can get that started because it's got to go before the 30th. So I'm getting down to the gritty nitty on that one too. But with that, let's thank Gallery for everything they've done for the show. They've helped us out so much. It's not even funny. If you use Grandpa Mark on the Galleries page, you get 10% off of anything you order, including sale items. And if you're buying it from Amazon, use the discount code up on the top. That's P2DI or 1. I'm not sure. B as in Bravo, Z as in Zulu, 7, T as in Tom. I still remember my phonetics, kind of, and that's never the way we would have used it on the ship, trust me. But yeah, that code is working now too. Let's not forget about our 24-hour group build coming up. That's October 17th, and I'll talk a lot more about that here probably the end of next month. The store is still open for the 24-hour build, so jump over there, grab yourself a shirt, a hat, a mug, whatever you want, and all the proceeds for that will go to the 24-hour build. Let's thank our veterans, our first responders, and our active duty people for putting it on the line every single day so we can do what we're doing. I salute each and every one of you, and I thank you. I want to say hey to Automotive Model Car Livecast. It's on every other Thursday in the summer, at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. They put on a heck of a good show, and I really love watching them. And then I want to thank each and every one of you for sticking with me through, we've been almost 4 years now. It's amazing. And all your thumbs ups, your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, they're helping the channel grow, and it's helping me get out there more. So I really appreciate that. And I want to thank you all. You all have a great day and a better tomorrow. And again, thank you for watching.